I've recently been upgrading my max power Corsa and this time I'm moving on to the interior. The old seats are past their best, so I'm going to be test fitting my new bucket seats ready for a full interior change. First job is to get that old seat out, and thankfully on the Corsa it's only a couple of bolts at the back and some little guide hooks at the front. The seats were a lot heavier than I thought they were going to be, and trying to get them out with the new Lambo doors was a bit of a pig, but we got there in the end. Now the old seats are out, it's time to get them all stripped down and get those subframes off. Old runners and mech had seen much better days. My new seats came with new runners anyway, so as part of the swap over I'm going to get these updated. These new seats are from a company called BadBoy Classics. They're trimmed with leather and Alcantara and fitted with heated seat elements. I can't wait to get them in the car and see what they look like. After taking the old worn out rails off of the subframe, it's time to offer it up to my new seats to make sure it's going to fit. And story of my life, it doesn't fit, so I'm going to have to make some modifications to get them on there. The mounting holes on the new seats are actually wider apart than the holes on the subframe, so I'm going to add some steel braces to the subframe that line up with the holes on the seat. Once I've worked out exactly where the braces need to be, I'm going to get them welded in place. A bad welder always needs a grinder to finish off their work, so I'm going to get these tidied up and finished in a fresh coat of Hammerite. I need to get the new rails mounted to the bottom of the seat so that I know where to line up the new mounting holes. So I fitted these once and then I realised I fitted them upside down, so I had to get them taken back off and refitted again. I never fully trust myself when I'm measuring, so I always have to measure about 10 times just to make sure I've got it right. Once I was happy, I marked up the holes I needed to drill and measured one more time just to make sure. I was originally going to nut and bolt this, but the bolt itself was going to foul on the underside of the subframe, so I decided to go fancy and get out my tap set so I could tap a thread or a bolt instead, which would keep it nice and tidy. With the new mounting holes ready, it was time to get the runners off of the seat and get them mounted to the subframe. And then the fiddly job of getting everything mounted back onto the seat. Just going to check that runner to make sure it runs nice and smooth, and then I'm going to get them back in the car. Not going to get them bolted in properly because everything else needs to come out yet, but I just want to make sure that the holes line up and make sure that the subframe is in its correct position. If you wonder what the wires are hanging out the back of the seats, that's for the heated elements, which I'm going to fit at a later date. Passenger side all good and line up, so it's time to follow the same process for the driver's side. Yeah, driver's side good too, so with the test fit complete, I'm ready to get the interior fully stripped out and get it all replaced with a different colour.